We are constantly pushed to believe the narrative, political agendas, social norms, and moral takes which frame things as right and wrong. But if you see things from a wider perspective, you'll see that often those who are portrayed as villains aren't so evil after all. And you'll notice that these narratives are created by the winners who justify their actions and silence the perspectives of the defeated. But not on my watch, because I had enough of these brick destroyers and their shenanigans, and I want to present to you the other side of the story. Today, I will defend all the enemies of the Mario Brothers. And you'll see that the most famous one is just a misunderstood painter and poet. And the Mario Brothers, the so-called plumbers, are nothing more than two bullies in silly red and green suits. And they call anyone who kicks their butt a villain. And Donkey Kong is the living example of that propaganda. He's a villain for what? For destroying Mario in a fair fight? Which Mario asked for in the first place? And for that, he's a bully who likes to fight Italian plumbers for no reason? I don't think so. Yes, he did beat up Mario in a fight, but when you call him a bully, you completely forget that he was an ape. And apes, like humans, often have a strange relationship with their fathers. So Donkey Kong had all the right reasons to be mad. And not like he tried to seriously hurt anyone, he just gave Mario a few slaps. And let's not forget, Donkey Kong never tries to dominate the entire kingdom or expand beyond his territory. He's not chasing power, he's just defending. And once conflicts are resolved, he moves on without holding grudges. That's high-level emotional intelligence. Donkey Kong also protects his banana horde from thieves, showing a clear pattern. He defends what's his, and he doesn't invade foreign territories. Meanwhile, Mario keeps showing up in other people's kingdoms like he owns the place. While Mario and Donkey Kong were inside the belly of the Maw-Ray, they bonded over the same problem. They are both sons living in the shadows of fathers who do not understand them. This gives Donkey Kong the support and understanding he needed so badly. So later, he drops the mean act to become a loyal ally against Bowser. He risked his life, fought an army of Koopas, and saved a world that's not even his. So Donkey Kong is not a villain. He's just a guy who needs a friend, and a little bit of therapy. Now let's go from prince to princess. Princess Shroob was an alien invader, they say. But I say she's a wise and firm leader of a dying species. The Shroobs came from a harsh world, struggling to survive. Princess Shroob did what she had to do to survive in the brutal universe. So naturally, she needed a new habitable planet. This isn't conquest for glory, it's survival. And survival doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for approval from some mushroom-headed council. Meanwhile, Mario and Luigi literally rewrite history to win. Imagine fighting someone who keeps reloading the timeline until they succeed. And somehow, they are still heroes? But that's cheating using time travel. And imagine having the power to time travel and having the same lame mustache and the same worn out red outfit in every timeline. Now, let's examine the sad life stories of other clown plumbers' enemies. Many would say that Cackletta is the evil witch. But let me tell you something. Cackletta targets the Bean Bean Kingdom and steals Princess Peach's voice for a reason. Peach's voice literally has destructive capabilities. So Cackletta was just securing a powerful weapon. So what did Cackletta actually do? She neutralized a weapon of mass destruction. That's not villainy. If anything, leaving that kind of power unregulated would be irresponsible. But of course, when a villain takes control of dangerous power, it's evil. But when a princess has it, it's charming. And Cackletta didn't just steal Peach's voice randomly. She understood its power, while Peach walks around with that level of destructive ability like it's nothing. Cackletta leads an entire operation and nearly succeeds, until two plumbers come to play heroes again, going back and forward in time and smashing everything like they're getting paid per brick. These two clowns invade foreign kingdoms, wreck everything, and call it saving the day. And when they're really bored, they even invade the dream world. Phantasma ruled the dream world, and when Mario and Luigi broke in, weaponized Luigi's dreams, and started reshaping reality like it's their personal sandbox, what do you think is gonna happen? He's gonna defend his world, of course. And he's the villain? Meanwhile, clowns in red and green jump into people's dreams uninvited, manipulate the environment, and call it heroism. If Phantasma did that, they'd call it psychological warfare. But instead, he formed alliances. He worked with Bowser. That shows political awareness and strategic cooperation. because unity and partnerships are necessary to defend your realm against noisy plumbers. Because the dream world is a separate dimension with its own rules and authority, by entering and reshaping it, Mario and Luigi violate that sovereignty. Phantasma's actions, therefore, are not aggression. They are enforcement of boundaries, and any ruler who fails to enforce boundaries loses his domain. So you can say Phantasma is evil, but I say he's just a ruler protecting his dimension from mustache trespassers who treat his reality like a playground. How about fixing some pipes for a change? Really, I tell you, these Mario brothers probably hit their heads too many times. For example, Luigi has been harassing ghosts for decades, walking into haunted mansions with a vacuum cleaner, sucking up innocent ghosts, and King Boo, as the ruler of an entire ghost species, had to go to war against the brothers. But King Boo is the villain simply because the plumbers say so. Sure, he kidnapped and trapped people in paintings. Sounds bad until you realize it's basically the ghost equivalent of imprisonment. No unnecessary bloodshed, but instead an artistic incarceration. And it's more noble than anything the Mario Bros have ever done. Boo's methods also minimize unnecessary destruction. He uses illusions, traps, and containment instead of brute force. King Boo's fellow ghosts are hunted, captured, and displayed like trophies. So no matter what the plumbers say, King Boo isn't evil. He's defending his kingdom. If anything, he's responding to repeated invasions, because Luigi kicks down the door and thinks he's some kind of ghostbuster. But people would rather say ghosts are bad than actually acknowledge Luigi's stupidity. And now, let's talk about the legendary Great Wizard. Kamek is the most reliable guy Bowser has. And Kamek isn't a sidekick, he's much more. He's a powerful sorcerer whose skills are the real power behind the Koopa Empire. And his skills are numerous. Abilities like telekinesis, teleportation, pyrokinesis, hypnosis, and many more make Kamek extremely powerful. He consistently supports Bowser with teleportation, enlargement magic, and battlefield control. But is this genius sorcerer really a villain? Well, if you follow the accepted narrative, then sure, he's a villain, an evil sorcerer, and whatever else the Mario brothers say. But if you try to see things objectively from his perspective, Kamek is just a loyal member of his empire and an extraordinary military strategist. And he's a first-class advisor who never abandoned his king. In the world of politics, Kamek would be considered a top-notch diplomat whose loyalty had no limits. And he didn't just serve Bowser, he raised him. That means he passed down knowledge, strategy, and leadership skills. He shaped the future ruler of an entire kingdom. So you can say he committed war crimes or that he misused his powers, but I say it was for the greater good of the two kingdoms. And if using intelligence, strategy, and sorcery makes someone a villain, then why are the two plumbers who solve every problem by jumping on someone's head considered heroes? Now, let's talk about another victim of the so-called Super Mario Brothers. King Wart was the king of the Subcon, the dream world. In dreams, there's often chaos, but Wart ruled it successfully. He brought order to chaos and he became the king. And then out of nowhere, Mario showed up and tried to poison him with vegetables. Was he really a villain? Well, since he's a ruler of a dream world, that means that the rules of ordinary society don't apply. Because a dream world is, by definition, unstable, chaotic, and dependent on some form of imposed structure. And within that world, Wart is the one who took control. And that's the thing. He didn't destroy anything, he took control. Then, Mario and the others entered Subcon through a dream, which means they weren't native to that world, and they moved through it as external agents, removing obstacles and advancing towards the center of power. But these obstacles were Wart's forces. So you can call this a game, but I say it was unchecked aggression. So naturally, Wart defended his world, using his bubbles to attack. Bubbles, not dangerous weapons, but bubbles. And Mario defeated him using vegetables, which he knew very well could kill Wart because he was allergic. And somehow, Mario is still considered a hero, even though he kept Bowser as a prisoner and ridiculed his art. And that brings us to another so-called villain, Bowser's son. But if you hear my objective perspective on things, you'll realize that Bowser Jr. wasn't a villain, but an exceptional leader who had noble goals. But no, people see a small version of Bowser with a bandana and a rebellious attitude and immediately assume he's the ultimate evil. But if you actually look at his actions, you'll see loyalty, intelligence, and a kid who was a leader in a world that was already at war long before he showed up. Bowser Jr. didn't choose the battlefield. He was born into it. He is just the product of his environment. And how does he see his life, his family, and their existence? His father is constantly under attack by outsiders like Mario and Luigi, two plumbers who break into castles and steal mushrooms. So when he tries to help his father, suddenly he's the bad guy? It's called standing up for your family. And this young turtle is super intelligent. He builds machines, commands troops, and leads his army. The kid commands a fleet of airships and he runs operations like an experienced general. He also shows tactical awareness. He doesn't just rush in blindly, he uses strategy, traps, and advanced machinery to gain an advantage. Whether it's airships, mechanical weapons, or defensive systems, he understands how to control a battlefield and how to win. Now, Bowser did help kidnap the Power Stars, and I know what many will say, kidnapping stars is wrong. Really? Let me explain the reality of this so-called kidnapping. Bowser Jr. was securing high-value energy assets during a cosmic power struggle. That's basic resource control, and every major empire in history has done it. And he kidnapped Princess Rosalina for the same purpose, to power his Boomsday Cannon with her cosmic energy. This powerful weapon has electric barriers and fires energy balls, and Junior needed it to free his father and protect their kingdom against plumber intruders. Meanwhile, Mario and Luigi smashed everything and attacked anyone who didn't immediately submit to them. Imagine someone shows up in your country, starts destroying your defenses, and says they're the good guy. So, however people want to depict him, Bowser Jr. is a hero who led his troops against the enemy. And everything he did came from loyalty, from the need to prove himself and to protect his kingdom, because his father was imprisoned by Mario and Luigi at the time. And why is Bowser Sr. a villain at all? Let me tell you why. Because people see a giant, fire-breathing turtle with spikes and a dramatic entrance and immediately jump to the most basic conclusion. That's the bad guy. But in all honesty, if you just take a moment to look at the facts and at Bowser's story with an open mind, you'll see that this sensitive painter and pianist is far from the villain everyone claims he is. The Austrian painter really ruined the PR for struggling artists. For starters, people say Bowser invaded kingdoms to collect Power Stars, like it's some big-time crime and random destruction just for fun. But think about it. In a world where Power Stars are literally the most valuable and dangerous resource imaginable, not going after them would be the irresponsible decision, because your entire kingdom would be wiped out the moment someone else decides to play the game seriously. Just like nations make weapons and gather resources, Bowser had to do the same for his kingdom. And he didn't just want those stars for himself, he wanted to marry Princess Peach and rule together with her. But most importantly, look at it from a political point of view. Bowser tried to build the most strategically valuable alliance that their world has ever seen. His ambition is simply a desire to provide a better life for his people who live in the harsh, volcanic landscape, while the residents of the Mushroom Kingdom enjoy the benefits of a carefree life. These two powerful kingdoms were next to each other, and he offered an opportunity to unite them into something that would eliminate conflict and create a powerful empire. But no, Peach would rather flirt with a random plumber who fell out of a pipe 5 minutes ago than consider a marriage that could strengthen her kingdom and improve the lives of everyone in it. Meanwhile, Bowser makes songs about her. He is a merciless warlord, but he's also an artist. And what does this selfish princess do? She spits on his efforts and sensitivity. To everything he does, she replies with,
"I'd never marry a monster."
So the next time you say to your friend, the worst she can say is no, remember what happened to Bowser. And yes, I know what you're going to say. Bowser caused chaos and destruction on the streets of Brooklyn. He unleashed his army of Koopa Troopas and went after Mario. But who was Mario? An intruder. A human who came from another world and tried to change everything in the Mushroom Kingdom. So you can accuse Bowser of destruction, but that was just a consequence of self-defense. And the Koopa Troopas didn't choose war. They were disciplined, united soldiers, and their so-called attack was nothing more than a defense against two plumbers who invaded their world. They operate in formations, follow commands, defend positions, and rebuild after losses. And let's address the so-called kidnapping. In most cases, Princess Peach is held in a secure location, unharmed, guarded, and not tortured. In political terms, that's holding a high-value figure to force negotiation or leverage. It happens in every conflict. The difference is, when Bowser does it, it's called evil. And unlike Mario, Bowser doesn't pretend to be the hero. He doesn't hide behind moral speeches or fake righteousness. He is honest and direct with what he wants. Meanwhile, Mario breaks into castles, destroys them brick by brick, bullies innocent turtles, and somehow gets a kiss from the princess. And after all the rejection and humiliation, Bowser attempted to build his empire at the center of the universe. His wish? To build an unstoppable galactic empire. So that's what happens to guys when they are rejected by the woman they love. They turn their sorrow into ambition. Bowser is not that different from any guy who starts on a gym arc after a breakup. But Bowser's plans failed, and in the end, I say he wasn't a villain, but a victim of rejection. And that was the story of the #1 villain of the Mario Super Universe. What do you think? Who is the real villain here? As you can see, it's hard to be a villain next to the Mario Brothers, because no matter what you do, defend your land, protect your people, or fight back, you'll be labeled a villain the moment you stand in their way. My suggestion? Stick to plumbing, you clowns. Leave the poor turtles alone, and if you want mushrooms, order a pizza with extra mushrooms. No need to hit the bricks with your head to get them. If you like this video, check out this one where I defended all the Despicable Me villains.